So, Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco denies using Notorious expulsion rooms, or Doshibeya, to pressure Japanese employees to quit. In a room full of a Doshibeya, you need to welcome some Databayo into your life. Um, Bandai Namco, one of Japan's largest video game developers, has come under fire following allegations that it's using a controversial practice known as expulsion rooms, or Dashibeya, to pressure employees into quitting voluntarily. Uh, while layoffs in nations such as the United States are typically straightforward, Japan's strict labor laws have made companies like Bandai Namco turn to alternate methods to reduce their workforce. According to a report from Bloomberg, approximately 200 out of 1,300 employees were transferred to expulsion rooms, or Dashibeya. These rooms are designed to bore targeted employees into resigning. Yeah, they're like seclusion rooms, and so what exactly happens in these rooms? Well, according to the report, employees are often left with nothing to do. Though this might sound like a nice break for Westerners, it's different in a nation such as Japan. Yeah, basically, if you're not doing anything in Japan, you're like the scum of the earth. In Japan, they expect everyone to work and to be productive. Um, the sort of shelving can end up leading to cultural shame or frustration. Yeah, again, because you know they take their jobs very seriously over there. Um, if hello, and that's how they look at you when you leave. They're like, take that, Kakarot. Hello. Yeah. So as I was saying, um, yeah, they have a what's with this? What's with the site? Like seriously, it's like the second time it's done this. Seriously, bounding into comics. Fix your shit. Um, maybe I should just like hopefully try to read it all and then because it looks like we're pretty much at the end. Despite the reports, Bandai Namco denies the claims. The company spokesperson told Bloomberg some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned to their next project. But we move forward with assignments as new projects emerge. There's no organization like the Yodashibeya at Bandai Namco Studios designed to pressure people to have to leave voluntarily. For those who are well versed in the concept, it's not uncommon. The reality is that the use of expulsion rooms has notorious history in Japan's corporate world. For an example, decades old, back in the early 2000s, Sega faced a lawsuit over its use of expulsion rooms. The company was forced to publicly apologize after losing the case, damaging its reputation. Um, they didn't just put people behind a partition; they sent them to a completely different floor. Said blah blah blah. Given Japan's history with expulsion rooms, it's unlikely Bandai Namco will publicly admit to the practice unless faced with undeniable legal consequences. For now, the company maintains its innocence, but the shadow of corporate misconduct looms large over its operations. As the video game industry faces layoffs worldwide, the unique challenge of Japan's labor laws mean that Bandai Namco if guilty of these practices, is unlikely to face immediate repercussions. Though this could change if more employees come forward or legal action is taken. Yeah, yeah. So again, Japan is very hey, you need to work. We don't care what kind of work it is, you just need to work. Anyone who just kind of goes around and just kind of does nothing or people who I think even people like streamers or YouTubers, even they're frowned upon because they don't really see that as real work. Um, but yeah, they take it very seriously, and that's why you have such a high rate in Japan because most dudes are just like, I can't take this anymore because of how strict they are when it comes to work. You go over there and you see people in their 80s and 90s still working. So, um, but that, they also don't they they also don't have the same problem we do over here in the United States or Western problems. You see their people in their 80s and 90s and they look like they're in their 60s. Um, our people, they get to 80 and 90, you can tell they're 80 or 90. They start crapping themselves and you know Japan, most other countries don't have nursing homes, so they really don't have nursing homes. They take care of the elderly. Japan, they work until they're 80, 90 years old, and so, but yeah, Japan has a high rate of self. And I would love to say the word, but nope, can't because otherwise, a little disclaimer will you know, if you're, in your need of attention, please seek help and reach out to, I don't want a 18 plus video because I said one word. But the self, you know what I'm talking about. But it's extremely high because of just how strict they are when it comes to work. Um, hell, there's if you're going, when you quit a job in Japan, they make you write up this entire thing about why you're quitting, who you're going to work for, and kind of basically try to shame you. It's crazy. It's crazy what they do. Um, but it's just a culture. It's just how it is over there. They take jobs and everything a lot more seriously over there. Um, but if the fact that this is possibly coming around again, Sega was in trouble for it, and if Bandai Namco is back to using this practice, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of problems, aren't we? Because especially in this day and age, back with Sega, we have the internet now. We have the internet. We have social media, so any employee is able to go on and interact with the entire world and kind of get their story out there. Um, where was it? Uh, when would say that? Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah, the internet wasn't nearly as advanced as it was, as it is now. So back in the early 2000s, stuff happens and it remains kind of unheard of because it's like, okay, well, who cares? Um, but nowadays, thanks to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and people can go on and say, hey, I work for Bandai Namco, and you'll never guess what they're doing. You'll never guess what they're doing. Um, and then more and more people come out because it's like, okay, well, we feel more empowered to do this. And just, I mean, I get that it's the culture, but it's still not right to do. So it's not like I'm condoning it. It's still messed up. So if that's what Bandai Namco is doing, it's like the rate among males in Japan is already high enough. Doing crap like that is only going to make it worse. So, I mean, this is a country that complains that its population is dwindling or, there's no one's having kids, but yet they keep doing this crap to make people themselves. So, that's where all the people are going. They're offing themselves. Um, but yeah, it's a terrible practice. And United States, they just like, hey, you're fired. You're fired. But there, they'll just put you through like mental torment. And again, if you want to quit your job, they're gonna make you write up this entire thing about why you're quitting and who you're gonna be working for, and it's you know But not really surprised. Again, it's the culture. I'm not condoning it. It's just how they are. But it's also one reason why they're so successful, because they're like, when it comes to work, it's like they're no nonsense. You know, they don't care what you do for work. You just need to work. So anyway, employees of Bandai Namco after they put you in one of the expulsion rooms. Let's see how you enjoyed it there. But yeah. Japan, you wacky, wacky people. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.